welcome. It is I, your desert-dwelling British man. We have a lot of news to cover today, guys. And by the way, before we get started, if my audio is a little bit off, if you hear dogs barking in the background, please forgive that. Tomorrow, I have the lapel mic coming. I don't know if it's going to come before or after the daily video tomorrow, but I'm super excited about it. If you're super excited about it and you like this series that I'm doing, please guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Anyway, let's get into it. There's some comical parts and some very kind of serious parts to the news show today. So, India police halt bizarre "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire" crypto scam. I mean, man, maybe I'm going to get into trouble for saying this, but I have a theory, okay? My theory is the reason why a lot of scams are coming out of India is just a very simple one. It's that there are a lot of poor people, obviously, in India. It's such a huge country. There are rich people too. But there are a lot of poor but educated people in India. And because their society, it really promotes education, okay, which is amazing. It's great. And when you're super poor, but you're educated and you don't have that many opportunities, well, you kind of try to create your own opportunities. And some of them are going to be legitimate and some of them not so much. So, according to local police and the Hindu, I'm assuming that's a newspaper, a Mumbai resident named Pritam Patil stands accused of scamming 12 people out of $250,000 in a crypto scam. Now, in terms of crypto scams, that's not really a lot, to be perfectly honest. Patil and a partner pestered the local businessman and his partners for months to invest in KBC coin, as reported by Hardfork. KBC coin is named after Kwan Banega Crorepati, the Indian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, featured in Slumdog Millionaire. So, this guy's aspirational as well. I'm not sure if this is the guy on the picture that you see here. I'm not sure, but I mean, he looks pretty inspirational to me. Nasaheb Patil and 11 associates bought KBC coin from Patil and his friend Pintu Bahar. I'm probably getting these names wrong. The AFC Mint coin website was down at time of writing, but we found a backup here. AFC stood for a future cryptocurrency. Now, we're not going to go to the backup because there's no point in that. Patil and Bahar promised their victims that the KBC coin cryptocurrency would go to $1. Without any prior knowledge of the crypto market, the victims made the investment and apparently received dividends for a while. So that's obviously a clear pyramid scheme structure going on there. AFC Mint's website described AFC as legally certified to provide global AFC coin investment platform. The way that they've spelt that, and I'm assuming that's how they spell it on the site. This is a peculiar claim, given that Indian authorities have yet to figure out how they're going to regulate cryptocurrencies. The situation has grown so annoying to the Indian courts that yesterday they issued a 4-week deadline for crypto regulations. Now, from what I know about India, their court system is very, very clogged up. Like, I think that there are cases that are going on in all their courts that are like over 10 years old, because that's how clogged up their system is. The Hindu reports that Patil and Bahar told their victims that their website served as proof of their business registration. If only that were true on all the other websites in the world that have scammed out. The victims might have seen that as a red flag, but the time frame of the scam is perfect. The crypto market was booming. One funny item from the AFC Mint website is the way that they describe smart contracts and the taxable nature of cryptocurrencies. It's brilliant for its ignorance. Did you realize that in the United States, that cryptocurrencies is considered a commodity? So this means you get splendid tax breaks. Also, many countries do not even tax it. Many people assume clever contracts are the future. That is just like the dawn of the internet. Money will never be the equal again. Clever contracts. They put that through Google Translate. They must have put it through Google Translate. Aside from several ICO scams that have victimized unwitting Indian nationals, the BitConnect scheme did well there. That global scam netted at least $3 billion in the country, and authorities were asked to seize the assets of several local promoters. The Asian head of the BitConnect pyramid was eventually arrested at the Delhi airport. I mean, an inspirational story there, guys. That's a real inspirational story. Anyway, moving on to more boring news. The London Stock Exchange leads $20 million investment in finance tokenization startup. Okay, so this is going to be the more serious side, I guess. The London Stock Exchange, LSEG, I'm just going to call them London Stock Exchange, has led a $20 million investment round in fintech startup. Why are there all these weird names? Nivora. Reuters reported on February 27th. The British blockchain startup is the developer of the world's reportedly first crypto-denominated blockchain-settled bond. Now, that's a big deal. That it really is. According to Reuters, the London Stock Exchange paid an undisclosed amount for a minority equity stake in Nivora. The startup provides blockchain solutions that automate the issuance and clearing and settlement of financial instruments, including bond issuance and tokenized securities. Alongside LSEG, Banco Santander's venture capital firm, Santander Innoventures, was reportedly among the investors in Nivora. So that's big. They're really interested in crypto now. LSEG's head of international development, Nikhil Rafi, told Reuters that the Nivora investment aligns with the exchange operator's aim to harness new technology that can diversify products and provide efficiency gains and boost growth. Tokenizing debt and equity, Nivora contends can cut processing time for financial instruments by up to 80%, and obviously that reduces costs, and dramatically reduce the costs of raising capital. The startup has outlined that its platform is a modular solution which facilitates the automation of the entire life cycle of a financial instrument. The platform also allows issuers to easily access the financial markets and connect into existing technology platforms such as clearing systems or into blockchain infrastructures. All of that is going to save them a ton of money. For its issuance of an Ethereum-denominated blockchain-settled bond in late 2017, Nivora operated under the aegis, I never know how to say that word, of the UK's Financial Conduct Authority's regulatory sandbox, thus tackling the full gamut and complexity of the legal and regulatory issues involved in tokenizing capital markets. So you're talking that they're effectively a regulated thing. As reported, LSG technology solutions provider LSEG Technology has recently announced that its low latency scalable matching engine in use at traditional exchanges such as LSE, Borsa Italiana, the Oslo Stock Exchange and others will be used to power a forthcoming Hong Kong based digital assets exchange. That's massive, guys. And that really is. Recognition of blockchain's efficacy for streamlining financial instruments continues to widen. Earlier this month, Spain's second largest bank, Banco Bilbao Vizcaya Argentaria, launched the reportedly first blockchain-backed platform for structured green sustainable bonds. In December, BBVA closed a $190 million loan using blockchain with a non-Spanish borrower. Across the globe, the Australian Securities Exchange is working to implement blockchain technology to replace its current system for processing equity transactions. Crypto is moving forward, really is. Guys, by the way, if you want to check out any of these articles, there'll be a link to that in the description. Now we're going to get on to something that is kind of close to my heart. I made a video on Venezuela, and I made that very recently, guys. You can check that out. There'll be a link to that in the description down below. And yeah, so there's a little bit of charity going on here, which is awesome. So Bolivars to Bitcoin. Activists take down Venezuela's Maduro in crypto art exhibit. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro will be taken down today. At least his visage painted on 1,000 bolivars by cryptocurrency-focused artist Crypto Graffiti will be. So, I mean, obviously, guys, in the very first part of this article, they're kind of hinting at something, right? The destruction of the artist's newest piece, an 11-foot by 10-foot portrait of the Venezuelan leader, will happen in is it Cucuta, Colombia, about 500 yards from the Simón Bolivar Bridge, a landmark hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans have crossed across to escape poverty in their home country. There is a lot of problems that's happening for those people that cross as well. Since Maduro took office in 2013, Venezuela has suffered drastic inflation, starvation, and socio-economic decline. And in recent months, the situation has worsened. This past weekend, violence broke out on the border with Brazil as the Venezuelan military moved to block food and medical supplies from entering Venezuela. I believe that they set a bus on fire. Feeling for the people of Venezuela and hoping cryptocurrency can prove to be the economic alternative it's touted as, Crypto Graffiti decided he needed to see its potential for himself. So Crypto Graffiti told CoinDesk, after reciting the tired, maybe it doesn't apply directly to you, but Bitcoin is important to authoritarian regimes line one too many times, I wanted to contribute and experience the situation firsthand. He's a brave person, really brave guy. In partnership with AirTM, a Mexico-based crypto exchange, and CryptoConcierge, a cryptocurrency-focused merchant services provider, Crypto Graffiti will watch as his portrait gets torn down for every donation made. A Venezuelan at the event will physically remove a bolivar from the mural. Now, I'm wondering, is there any type of danger is there any something like that might happen to those Venezuelans that do that? Only 2 pieces of the mural will be saved and signed as donor prizes, one section going to the highest donor and the other being given to a donor drawn at random. I can't help but feel that there's something bad that might happen here. Venezuelans will literally and figuratively be bringing down Maduro, Crypto Graffiti said. The all-day live-streamed event is part of a larger project, Airdrop Venezuela, which plans to use 50% of the donations to send cryptocurrency to more than 100,000 Venezuelans in April. I'm going to leave a link, by the way, guys, in the description, so you can go see that live stream when it happens. While the focus is on Bitcoin, AirTM is also accepting a number of cryptocurrencies, including Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, Ether, XRP, and Dash. What about Monero? They should accept that. The other 50% of funds contributed go towards rebuilding facilities at Foundation Renesa, a non-profit organisation providing daycare services to families displaced by the crisis, where the event will be held. So look at all those people, man. It makes me feel bad. During the event, CryptoConcierge will be focused on educating individuals and merchants on cryptocurrency use. Venezuelan regulators have imposed a more than 11% fee on all crypto remittances in the country, so crypto holders will likely want to learn how to transfer their money in a peer-to-peer way to forgo those. Several food merchants will be at the event, so attendees that get crypto can purchase food right away. Crypto Graffiti concluded, people are using it to steer clear of hyperinflation, but also to escape with money as well. All the stuff we talk about as possibilities for crypto, it's happening right now. And it really is happening. And hopefully they can help those people. Now, guys, I want to bring up something that you might have missed. If you don't follow me on Twitter, then you would have missed this. So within a few hours of finding out yesterday, I tweeted out that there may or may not be a vulnerability with the Coinomi wallet. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get into the why I did that yesterday. and they actually responded to me as well. So stay tuned for their response to me. Okay, so this is the story about what happened yesterday. If you want to follow me on Twitter as well, the link will be in the description down below. Okay, so the Coinomi cryptocurrency wallet was reportedly discovered to have a critical vulnerability that has reportedly cost some users their funds. I believe one guy actually lost like $60,000 or $70,000. According to claims on the internet, the wallet sends plain text seed phrases to a third-party program for spell checking. The Coinomi team has not yet responded to a request for comment. They have, but obviously as the time of this article they haven't. Nor have they commented on the issue through any channel. The wallet has more than 500,000 downloads on the Google Play Store. So this is the story. This is what I found on the cryptocurrency subreddit, which, by the way, guys, if you want to find out news about some things that are going on, you really should go to that subreddit. It's pretty good and pretty entertaining as well. So Warif, I'm going to butcher names here, I'm very bad at it. Warif Ali Mawali, an IT security consultant, has been credited for discovering the issue. He created a website, avoidkonami.com, where he shared his version of events and later posted it on Reddit. Now, I will say something here. This guy is an IT security consultant. Okay, so he is obviously in the tech field and knows about security, and that will play a part later on down the line, because I'm starting to believe that this isn't as bad as everybody has made it out to be, or as a lot of people have made it out to be, and as bad as this guy has made it out to be. First of all, I admit it was my mistake trusting Coinomi wallet by inserting one of my main wallets, Exodus wallet, passphrase into their application. Ali Mawali explains, adding, I wanted to shift some of the assets that were not supported by Exodus wallet using the same passphrase or seed. According to the consultant, their main application, which was installed by the user on February 14th, was not digitally signed, which he brought to the attention of the Coinomi team through Twitter, but he'd already entered his Exodus wallet passphrase into the non-signed one. On February 22nd, he noticed that more than 90% of his wallet assets were transferred to multiple wallet addresses, and the first transaction began with BTC on the 19th of February 2019 around 3:30 UTC, then followed by F, including ERC20 tokens, and LTC, and finally Bitcoin Cash. When he started digging into the issue, he discovered that the whole passphrase was in plain text, was being sent to a domain name, googleapis.com, owned by Google for spell checking purposes. As a result, someone from Google's team, or whoever had access to the HTTP requests that are sent to googleapis.com, found the passphrase and used it to steal his 60,000 or 70,000 USD worth of crypto assets at the current market price. Anyone who is involved in technology and cryptocurrency knows that a 12 random English words separated by spaces will probably be a passphrase to a cryptocurrency wallet, Warif explains. He contacted Coinomi with his findings, but the results weren't what he expected. Coinami's team did not reflect any responsible behaviour, and they kept asking me about the technical issue behind the bug because they were worried about their public image and reputation. Now, that would kind of make sense for them to do that. He wrote, adding, they kept reminding me, kind of threatening me, of the legal implications if I go public with the information that I have, and they forgot their legal responsibility for my stolen crypto assets, as well as the risk that impacts other users of the wallet. Is there any legal responsibility on their end? I'm not too sure about that. Guys, if you know the law, let me know in the comments down below. He concludes by saying that he's looking into legal actions against Coinomi, the UK-based company, if they don't take responsibility for this security bug. Meanwhile, some other users have also claimed that they've lost funds as well. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have. It just means that people have done that. Now that you know the story about what has happened, I found that out literally within a few hours. And so I tweeted this out. If you have a Coinomi wallet, you might want to delete it and move your funds to another wallet. There's a possible security breach. Now, as you can see here, they actually responded to me. And I think that it's fair that I publicize their response as well. Too many people don't do that. And I think it would be fair on them if we talk about what they said here. So their official statement, okay? Official statement on spell check findings, the timeline of events. On the 22nd of February 2019, we were contacted by Warif Ali Mawali via our support help desk regarding a security vulnerability in our desktop wallets. Remember that, desktop wallets only. We immediately flagged his request as high priority and we started investigating this issue. The report said that seed phrases were being sent over to Google in plain text due to a built-in spell check functionality in desktop wallets, and that there was a wallet hacked due to this vulnerability. Okay, they continue. Our engineers confirmed that spell check functionality was indeed enabled for the desktop wallets only. The mobile apps were not affected. However, unlike what was reported, the seed phrase wasn't being transmitted in plain text. Instead, it was being encapsulated inside a HTTPS request, with Google being the sole recipient. Okay, so that request was protecting it. The seed phrase wasn't being transmitted at all unless the user chose to explicitly restore their desktop wallets. The spell check requests that were sent over to Google API were not processed, okay, cached or stored, and the requests themselves returned an error code. So nobody received the requests, as they were flagged as bad requests and weren't processed further by Google. So the accusation that there is some type of Google employee that's stealing them, it's just not true, okay? Our engineers immediately tracked down the cause of this issue, which wasn't a bug in our source code, but instead was a bad configuration option in a plugin used in desktop wallets only. That plugin enabled the spell check functionality by default in a recent update and was fixed by the JX browser plugin team just 6 days ago, which is the same day that we were contacted by Warif. All desktop versions were patched immediately after we received the full disclosure, and we then started further exploring the implications of this issue in order to provide our users with the proper guidance and inform them on the course of action that needed to be taken, if any. During these days, Warif repeatedly refused to disclose his findings and kept threatening to take this public if we didn't pay right away the ransom of 17 BTC, which would make up for the hacked funds stolen by Google, according to Warif, that are possibly still controlled by him and couldn't have been hacked because of Coinomi for a series of reasons. Okay, so I have a tendency here to actually believe Coinomi, but I could be wrong, and I don't want to victimize anybody. So, Coinomi team never had access to these seed phrases or funds. No one else except from Google could read the contents of the encrypted packets that contained the seed phrases. Google rejected these requests initiated by JX browser Chromium as they were badly formed and didn't contain a valid Google API key, so they never actually processed them. So whatever happens here, Google has nothing to do with it. Okay, so that assertion was wrong. If you've been using Coinomi for Android or iOS, there is no further action needed on your side. Mobile versions were not affected by this. And if you're using Coinomi desktops and you created a new wallet with your desktop, again, there's no further action required other than updating your client to the latest patched version. If you're using Coinomi desktops and you restored an existing wallet into your desktop wallet, we recommend that you create a new wallet and move your funds there after you update your client to the latest patched version. Given the facts above, it's extremely unlikely that this issue would ever result in a loss of funds. However, under no circumstances a seed phrase should go online even if this is in encrypted mode, and for this we sincerely apologise. Our support is at your disposal 24/7 on a 24/7 basis to guide you throughout the process if at any point you need a helping hand. So here's the conclusion, okay guys, this is where it gets kind of exciting. We've been successfully securing your blockchain assets since 2014, and this isn't going to change now. We take security very seriously. We hire professional auditors and security experts to review our code and processes, and as a matter of fact, these past few weeks we've been attending the details of an audit by Key Labs. We've had 0 reports of hacked desktop wallets so far other than Warif Mali's, which however cannot be sustained by the underlying facts. There is still a way to investigate the authenticity of his claim, and if the funds were indeed stolen, it was more likely due to an infected host rather than Google itself stealing these funds. If the claim is proven to be false, we will seek remedies to set things straight and to prevent their reoccurrence. So I'm guessing that that's a court threat. Just like today, back in 2017, Luke Charles and Jonathan Sterling acted totally irresponsibly by disclosing their findings in public before making sure that we were aware of them. They never opened a ticket with our support, the only formal way of contacting us back then. This could have set Coinomi users' funds at risk if their security claims were true. Following the same paradigm, Warif Mali acted equally responsibly by disclosing this in public before allowing us to sit with Google and make sure that in the unlikely scenario that some seed phrases were captured by Google servers, they would be wiped out immediately. Now it's out of our hands thanks to Warif and Luke Charles, who vigorously reproduced the news via their personal accounts. After the dust settles, we all need to remember the names of those who chose self-assertion over general public safety and acted irresponsibly. And I'm inclined to agree with Coinomi here, because the guy does have a security background, so he should know that going straight to the public is not the thing that you do. And he even says it himself, that they was asking him the technical issues that happened because they obviously want to solve it, right? If there is a problem, they obviously wanted to solve it. Going forward, it should be noted that we're not negotiating with blackmailers and that we're totally open and transparent with the crypto community, which we've been serving day and night for the past 5 years. Security vulnerabilities exist in all kinds of software, and it's very important that we disclose that they are disclosed properly. If you are a security researcher and you come up with a vulnerability that could affect other users too, you must take into account how disclosing this info in public will affect those users, especially in financial applications that deal with people's money. In other words, don't be like the researchers mentioned above. Be responsible, and just so that we don't give the wrong impression here, we'd like to thank Mr. Warif Mali for disclosing his findings with us. Coinomi desktops are more secure now than ever thanks to him. To sum things up, was there an issue with our desktop wallets? Yes, there was. And it was fixed only hours after it was disclosed to us. Could this issue have resulted in the loss of funds? Practically, no, it couldn't have. And then they show the API HTTPS response, right? So you can see it all here. So part 2 of their conclusion. We've asked Google to confirm that bad request text body isn't stored on their servers. We'll update our statement accordingly. By default, spell checker is enabled and configured to use English US language. Chromium engine checks text in all text fields and text areas on the loaded web page and highlights all misspelled words. Chromium supports both custom dictionary and dictionaries for different languages. It downloads the required dictionary locally for the current language automatically. You can also add words to your custom dictionary, which is stored in Chromium's user profile directory. When a text field or text area on the loaded web page receives focus, Chromium's spell checker functionality automatically checks the text and highlights misspelled words. So I'm inclined to agree with Coinomi here. The guy has experience in the tech field, and they was asking him technical details on how to obviously fix the problem if there was one, right? So they, as far as I'm concerned, they did act appropriately. Now, I'm not one to just, cheer on companies. I'm a very individualistic person, but in this scenario, it's not looking too good for the guy. And truthfully, why would you store $60,000 or $70,000 worth of crypto on you know, on a wallet like Coinomi. I'm not saying that Coinomi is a bad wallet or anything like that, but surely you would put it on a hardware wallet. No, I don't have much crypto. It's literally in the thousands, like below $10,000. I'm not rich, right? But I myself, I have a hardware wallet. So like if the guy has that much crypto, I don't know, it's very suspicious. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, if you think that this is suspicious as well. And guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you tomorrow.